What up?
Hello.
So, a friend came in town the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, hey, we should go hang out with another friend. So, it's a friend that I went to middle school with.
Okay.
1996, okay? Old school. Dude, we've been friends over 20 years. Okay. So, she was in town, and she was like, hey, let's go find this other friend that we had in middle school. Dude, this other friend was very rowdy, was a rowdy person, right? And I would hang out with the three of them because they bring the noise and I'm always down for the noise. Apparently I'm always down. I don't know if I'm always down for the noise. At the time, I was down. Okay. So my friend's like, hey, let's go find her. And we couldn't find her. We were trying to hang out with her, but it just wasn't going to happen. And I remembered a few years ago, the friend that was in town, she dated this guy for like a long ass time, like, I don't know, maybe almost 10 years, a long time. And they were engaged at one point, but it didn't kind of go through because she's an Aquarian where she just feels like hot, cold feelings about people.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm talking about? You know astrology. You believe in that horse shit.
I don't know.
Is that not a thing?
Probably.
All right. Sorry. I'm putting a lot of pressure on you to confirm or deny. However, side note, tangent, she has a husband and she's all hot about the husband. She's not hot or cold, which is something I wanted to understand. I was like, dude, you never are all about someone, and then you met your husband and it was clearly the perfect fit. It was just like, I've known her 20 years. I've never seen a person just go from like everybody is like lukewarm to being like, oh my god, this, I don't know, it blew me away. But anyway, so she's in town. She's like, hey, we should hang out with so and so. And it reminded me of when my in-town friend said on, I think it was like on Facebook, this was a long ass time ago, this was probably like 10 years ago or something. She said she like did that thing where you announce that you're gonna get married.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, so and so is now engaged, right? And it tags the other person, so they have that same message on their Facebook page. So all of their friends and family and all of your friends and family see this like joint, you know what I mean, announcement.
Yes.
Okay. So me and the friend that's in town are trying to hang out with this girl that we can't hang out with. Okay, so the girl we can't hang out with sees this thing 10 years ago on Facebook, and she wrote, it's like, yay, so and so are engaged, right? Mm-hmm. Tagging everybody, all the friends and family. She writes in the comments for everyone to see some shit like, I should have looked it up. I don't even know if I could find it, but it said some shit like good job, you hoe bag, or something. Like, she like called her a hoe bag, which is a classic old school favorite that I forgot about. Mm. But I thought it was a bold move to announce to the friends and family of your fiance that he's marrying a hoe bag. I was like, yes, dude. Why am I not this person? Why am I always like, oh, the other day, this is a new one. Okay. So we're about to change over. By we, I mean me and my blog coach, not me and you. But you could be a part of it if you wanted to. Sorry. Sorry to just push you out like that. Okay. So me and the blog coach are like moving the blog over. So I'm about to reveal the name that I want to put it on her. I want to be like, she came up with this name. Sorry. So we're about to move everything over and confuse the fuck out of everybody. And so yesterday she sent me a link and she was like, hey, this is your about page, fill this shit out. And I was like, okay. And there's this analysis paralysis moment of like, who am I? Well, it's identity crisis. And I was like, how do I?
Existential crisis.
Always. Who am I? About page. I got to put it in words. What the fuck? Freak out. Okay. So essentially here's my breakthrough moment. I feel like after recording all these chit chats for the last 4 years or something, 4 or 5 years,
Long time.
I feel like I've developed this chit chat persona character. I don't know. This part of my psyche comes out when the microphone is here. I come out with it, right? So I try to remember that person, and I was like, so as I wrote the about page, I'm like, what if the about page? What if someone handed the about page a microphone? What would the? I don't know. I feel like it's hard to explain. So, yeah. So in the about page, I wrote like all this shit, like
Wholesome.
no. Well, you see where this is going, dude. You were reading some minds. Well, I wrote like, I love to go for walks, and bike rides are awesome. I love books. The library is awesome when it's not, full. This is my about page. This shit's classy. Watch out. And then I wrote that I live in a perpetual state of identity crisis. And then I wrote, and this is true. All of it's true. And then I wrote that just recently, and by recently I mean like last week, I came to this like realization that I have this not alter ego. There's a more accurate alter ego is, I don't know, like a split personality. There's a name. Okay, we don't know psychology terms, but I feel like there's this part of me that wishes to be Mr. Rogers. It's hard to explain, you know what I mean? PBS, welcome to the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Like, because he wears a cardigan. Guess what? I like cardigans. He's a friendly guy. I don't know what I am. Am I friendly?
Yeah.
I don't know what I am. I'm a mess. But I look to Mr. Rogers and I'm like, you know what? Mr. Rogers has it figured out. Well, no, that's not actually what I think. He's got this cardigan, and I think I just, I think I just identify with the. Is that do Mormons wear cardigans?
I don't think he was a Mormon. I don't know. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I'm sure some of them do.
Okay. I think this all comes down to my secret in the closet wholesomeness. Oh, speaking of that. Oh, wait. Okay. All this is getting at is that I wish I had a stronger personality where I just like roll up and call people hoe bags in the comment section where all their friends and family are tagged. You know what I mean? Like someone has a new baby. I'm like, hey, you hoe bag, you had a baby, right? Oh, your child has a hoe bag for a mother, right? I don't do any of that. I don't even think to do that. That's the thing. I'm not like repressing or suppressing. Well, maybe it's suppressing is like when you know something, right? And you push it down, and repressing is like your brain is like, we're bypassing you. You don't even know you want to think these things. I feel like I'm repressed. I don't even think hoe bag thoughts. I feel like I should. I feel like I need to study my friend's Facebook comments and see how she navigates this shit. Where do the rude comments come out? Not rude. Hilarious. On point. Fucking right to the fucking, I need that. I need to, I've been doing Facebook all wrong. I like avoid it. I'm running from it all the time. I'm like, peace, can't catch me, right? Peace, right? That's me. She steers into it. She's declaring hoe bags. Instead of avoiding Facebook, I need to be on it and I need to be studying this shit, right? No? Okay. So this lines up to a few other things. Identity crisis and calling people hoe bag. These are related. Dude, hoe bag, that's fucking fantastic. All right, I feel a text message to my sister coming on. Okay, so I got a job waitressing, right? And I've been in training for 3 days. And everybody who works there, they're really fucking chill. Like, the guy training me, he's like, he talks all sorts of shit to all the customers. Like, it's incredible. It's like he's calling people hoe bags, essentially, that are paying customers. Okay, so I don't do any of that. Like, I get really fucking uptight. Like, when I'm clocked in, I need to, the identity crisis comes out, right? It's like, who am I when I'm clocked in? So I wish I could just bring the microphone to the table. So I was thinking, I was like, oh, I bring mom energy. That was the only thing I could figure out. I was like, who is this
Wholesome
person that I keep bringing to the table whenever I'm clocked in? It's like...
Cardigan comes on.
I was seriously like, I wonder if I'm allowed to wear a cardigan to work. I seriously had this thought and feeling because I hate... Sorry, that's a strong word. I get anxious about my tattoos hanging out, even if it's like midnight and we're like running to Target to get like one thing. I'm like, it's 90 degrees out. I'm like, oh, where's my jacket, right? Where's that cardigan? So I'm thinking, hang on, let me take a sip. So I've been listening to all the hippie shit by the manifestation workshop lady. And one of the things she says is like, oh, if you're not, I mean, this is not a direct quote. So if this sounds corny, blame it on me. Don't talk about the woman I love.
I know your wholesome personality.
Well, one of the things she says is like, if you're not, I forget what the thing, I think people say like, oh, how do you grow your social media or whatever. And she says, just look at like where you're not showing up, like where you're, you know what I mean? Like not like toning it down, playing it small, like just see where you're not showing up in social media, like how you're not, you know, not physically, but just like your personality, your expression, whatever the fuck that means. I guess I don't really know. I'm filling it in.
No, that makes sense.
Okay, thank you. And I don't give a fuck about that. What I give a fuck about is how I show up as a waitress. So I was thinking about that when I got hired, and there's like the period of time in between getting hired and starting, and it's like, who am I gonna be? Because I just don't know who I am. So I have to ask this question to panic about it. Panicking is part of the process of knowing. Okay. So I'm thinking like cardigan, check, right? Get that cardigan. Like, which cardigan am I bringing to wait tables in at this place where everybody's laid back and talking shit? Okay. So I'm thinking cardigan. And then I hear the voice of the manifestation lady in my head that's like,
your hoe bag.
Oh man, I wish. Bring the noise. Imagine if that was her.
Tip your hoe bag.
No, I imagined her being like, you know, making a comment in my head about like fairy godmother in your head. Essentially being like, if you wear a cardigan, then you're like toning your shit down. Which is, I am always toning my shit. I don't know. Okay, well, let's not go there. Moving along. So I was thinking that of her in my head saying like, I should practice this realm, like I should like have this practice place where I don't wear a cardigan and I just have the tattoos out, and then I have to like look at, oh, why does this make me feel douchey? You know, all the self-help bullshit that I'm into. Okay. So I, you know, bring my light jacket to work, you know, for the ride. And I get there and I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm not wearing the jacket. Like that, like we're showing up, tattoos ablazing. Let's just go as douchey as possible. Let every douchebag ounce of us just fly high. This is my new technique. Clock in, douche in. Okay. Sorry. Gross. Okay. So I show up and the manager that hired me, she took like one look at me and she's a really straightforward, she's also a no give fuck kind of lady. Mm-hmm. And she just took one look at me and she was like, and you can't wear that, right? Talking about my jacket, which I was already going to take off, but she like confirmed within 2 seconds of seeing me, right? She saw my eyeballs and instantly was like, tattoos ablazing, bitch, right? That was kind of the vibe. So I'm not going around calling people I guess I just called a bunch of people douchebags indirectly. If you got tattoos, you're a douchebag. Okay, sorry. Okay. So I notice when I go up to tables, my voice gets like like 10 octaves higher. I'm just like, hi, hey, right? And then I'm like, what? Who is this person? And then that night I got in the Uber to go back home, and the Uber driver was a lady, and she was like, just talking normal, like, hey, how you doing, right? And I'm like, great, right? Because I have that same. I'm still wearing that hat. Oh, I'm still in it.
Still have the cardigan on?
Dude, so thick. And so that night I was like, fuck, dude, next time I go to work, like, we have to start off the day in strong fucking energy, because I'm not being proactive. I'm just letting the flow take over. The flow of that 10 octave person, whoever that voice is. I'm just doing that because I've always done that. So it's just kind of that train loop, that
yeah.
It was like I started doing that 20 years ago when I got a job, 26 years ago when I got a job. Fucking unreal. No, not 26. 23 years ago. Okay. So I started doing that a long ass time ago. So that was like a train track, right? In my brain of just like, oh, we're at work, so this is how we act. And I've done it for so long, the train is now like a jumbo jet or like some sort of like underground light rail, some sort of like Elon Musk, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so instant. Like, this is who you are when you the second you clock in, the brain like jumps into order. Because I'm a stickler for the rules. Sorry. So, yeah. So then yesterday when before I clocked in, I was like, okay, when we get in the Uber, strong fucking energy. No more of this fucking around energy. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, what is that? What is that, like, that energy I'm bringing? And the best I came up with is like, it's like mom energy. And I don't think it's literally mom energy. I don't think it's like nurturing, like, maybe it's my mom, which is that's a whole thing. We're not going there. We're not going to be critical of mom.
Is that too deep?
We respect her weaknesses and her strengths. Okay. So, inherited trauma. Okay. So I'm bringing that, which I'm going to label as mom energy, but I think the problem isn't mom energy, because genuine, nurturing, loving, feminine energy is, that's a legit part of me, that I have that in me or whatever. But it's not cool. Like, it's not cool energy. Not for weight. Like, when you weight tables, like, or any sort of, you're clocked in, I don't know. You should err on the side of douchey and cool and not on, like, friendly and mom. I don't know how I'm going to jump that chasm. But this is like...
I don't think douchey is the right word.
I like that word. It's empowering. It's empowering for my rule breaking, for my rule, the part of my brain that's like, we don't break rules. We enforce rules. There are police in my mind that no one knows the rules except me, and I'm keeping all of them. So... what is a better word? Douchey is definitely not the right word. It's just the word that makes sense to me. Like, because, okay, remember how I went from Anarchist Kitchen to Modest Dish?
Mm-hmm.
I have to go from Mr. Rogers to douchey. Like, I cannot go in between. There's, like, this light rail, there's no stops in between. You get on and you get off. What is the stop in between?
I'm not sure.
No, come on. If you had a waitress or a waiter, what energy should they be bringing to the table? You don't need them to be like, it's not really mom energy. I just associate it subconsciously, apparently, with my mom. It's like, just like it's kind of like this deep people pleasing, like this, I can't describe it. It's just too passive. It's too, like, I don't know. I guess I'll have to think about it. I should journal about this shit. Okay. What is the energy, dude? What is the right way to be casual? That shit is too vanilla. We need douchey. We need extra sorry. A D bag. Ho bag. You see where this is going? Where is this going?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so this is my life. This is what I'm doing. Oh, well, in the manifestation course workshop shenanigans, she always says like when you're trying to like get from like A to B, A to Z, any, when you're trying to move forward,
Mm-hmm.
you need an expander, somebody who who's like essentially embodying what the fuck you want, but you can it's not just like anybody, it has to be somebody that you feel like kind of started where you started. You know what I mean? So it's like if you look at somebody and it's like, well, but they went to college and they had like loving parents and they had like shoes and food and clothes growing up, like you're like, I can't relate to, maybe that's the deciding factor, but you need to find someone like you. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're a waitress, anybody listening to this, if you're a waitress and you feel like, oh, I kind of relate to this hoe bag on the microphone, I need some guidance from another hoe bag. You know what I mean? Like, I need someone who I can vibe with. I guess I can look, sorry, I just pointed up, like.
Reaching for the stars.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have to be somebody in real life. I can look on, like, social, there's got to be some social media. There's got to be a movie where there was, like, a waitress and she was, like, awesome and, bringing the noise, but not, like, in a way that annoys me. I don't know. There's got to be a way to figure this out. Okay. Well, thank you for listening. Peace.